Are you a fan of evil? Well, you just happen to be in the right place, because we are currently playing as King Panochocolat of Ballio Tyrrhenia, King of Sardinia and Sicily and Corsica and Majorca and Pisa and Venice. It's a very complicated time. Here we are in Crusader Kings 3. Now, I have to clarify up front, this is going to be a confusing episode both for me and for you. The reason I say that is I've actually already recorded this episode. And if you're wondering why this episode is late, this is why. So, suffice to say, I've recorded this episode, and when I hit the stop recording button, it didn't export properly, and I was left with a corrupted video file. So I've actually played, you might notice right now, it's the 19th of March, 12:33. So for you all, this is only a month after, almost exactly a month after we stopped playing yesterday. For me, though, I actually carried on playing, and like I said, recorded a whole other episode. I actually played for another 5 years. And then it crashed. That's when OBS, or it didn't crash, but I was going to close things out, and that's when the video didn't export properly. So I've actually already played as this guy for, well, another 4 years, 5 years, roughly, depending on when I actually stopped before the autosave. So it's a total mess. I can't remember what I've got to talk about. I can't remember what I've already done in the kind of, between February and March. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna presume I'm going to come at this with the knowledge that I acquired during my almost like a practice run. Let's look at it positively here. It was a practice run because ultimately, you know, we're dropping in as this guy at the age of 35, right? We might only get to play as him for 40 years, maybe even slightly less than that. I mean, how old was the last guy? 63. We might only play as this guy for 30 years, you know? Particularly as he's probably going to live quite a stressful, scheming lifestyle, right? So, let me see if I can remember what I talked about with regards to the comments. Right, so everybody suggested it, and I love it as an idea. This guy, of course, is the schemer, right? He's a vengeful, paranoid, callous web weaver who has already got his hands dirty and done a bit of murder, and additionally, before we even started playing as him, of course, immediately went into the seducer tree. That's what the AI chose, so that's what I'm choosing to incorporate as part of his character. Even though he isn't necessarily lustful, clearly he has an interest in seduction, maybe just for the power, maybe to, you know, have that manipulation ability over somebody. I'm not sure, but that is definitely part of his character and how we're going to play him here. So, lots of people suggested this guy, being that intrigue expert, should focus instead on, you know, going to war, fabricating claims, whatever, installing dynasty members on other thrones. I think that's really fun. It's something I don't normally do in Crusader Kings. So the way, of course, that we would do that, if you're, you know, relatively new to Crusader Kings, we could pick some of these family members who are, you know, unmarried women in the family. We can marry them matrilineally. So the children born to the marriage will be Karling, or House Karling. Marry them matrilineally to family members who are very far down the line of succession. So in this case, maybe Prince Rouge. He's already married, but let's just kill his wife. Why not? What's another one, huh? Kill his wife, marry Prince Rouge to matrilineally to, you know, one of my character's sisters. They have a bunch of kids who are Karling, and then we kill off everyone else in line to the throne of Francia, right up to Prince Rouge, who's only third in line. We kill him. Their child inherits, and their child is a Karling. So that way we can put our family, our dynasty across all the thrones of Europe. The only problem with that, of course, is that we would stop being the house head, because then suddenly the king of Francia would become the head of House Karling. But as we are going to be the manipulator, the person establishing all of this in the first place, I think it'll give us special precedence. You know, we'll gain a lot of renown for doing so, because we're a lot of prestige, because we're putting our house in high places. I like that idea. I think that's quite fun. Maybe we don't want to go for like France here in the HRE. Maybe we go for like Castile. Maybe we go for, I don't know, Hungary, Poland, places like that that won't be such an immediate threat to our own borders and to our own ambitions. The last thing we want is another Karling on the throne of the HRE going for Pisa or Venice or something like that, right? So we've got to kind of keep things balanced a little bit there. Now, I like the idea of incorporating romance into this character. Now, somebody pointed out, and this is actually something I tried doing with this character in that kind of alternative timeline that OBS doomed to failure. Someone pointed out that in our culture, not only is this guy, you know, a seducer, but we also have chivalry, which gives a bonus to romance schemes. Now, bear in mind, romance schemes are, and seduction schemes are very separate. The benefits come from exclusively the romance scheme. So successfully executing romance gives renown, more likely to start romance schemes, power and gallant trait gives significant bonus to gallant schemes, etc., etc. You understand. But I tried it, and the problem is, everybody hates this guy. Because A, we started playing as him, and he was already a murderer. B, he's callous, he's paranoid, he's vengeful. He's not very well liked. Immediately going for Catholic people is a -10 off the bat. Murder is a -15. We have such an uphill battle, but we have so many bonuses to seduction. That's the one thing we can do. And seduction, of course, can lead to intrigue, experience, and etc., etc. So, that being said, that's what we'll be focusing on as kind of his personal schemes. For the hostile schemes, I had a big brain play, and it actually worked really, really, really well up until, you know, all of my progress was wiped out. So, with the money that we earn with this character, we can, again, you know, use it to expedite our plots, whatever else. Or, because we have a kind of maybe only 30 years with this character, right? It's already quite late when we're picking up in his life. We need to maximize what we can do with him. We need to maximize getting Schemer and Torturer and even finishing Seducer. Maybe even going into Stewardship, because that's his second highest skill. At least getting Golden Obligations so that we can blackmail people for even more money and wealth and power, because that's all this guy really cares about, right? His own dynasty, his own relationships, because he loves his own dynasty members, and he's a big fan of his own dynasty. He's just a horrible piece of shit. So, to that effect, what I started to do, right, is I went to the Artifact Finder, and in the Artifact Finder, because we have that really cool mod that lets you trade artifacts, sell artifacts, etc., etc., we can sort by modifiers, which I just didn't realize at all. And one of the modifiers just happens to be Intrigue Lifestyle Experience. What we can do then is sort by rarity, because of course the higher the rarity, the higher the benefits. Look at this. King Stepan of Whiteroost has a book that gives 30% extra to Intrigue Lifestyle Experience. That's equivalent to being a genius, right? And these are core. This one's a core artifact. This one's a core artifact, but some of them are inventory artifacts. So we could stack two 30% books and, you know, like effectively 4 20% books, and we can get up to like 150% bonus. It's kind of nuts between that and a few other artifacts, right? So I was able to actually buy quite a lot of these books, right? Just by simply going to people and asking if we can buy them. Because if they've got, you know, like, if we're going for like this book, which is just masterwork, it's the second highest quality artifact. Chances are they haven't got it equipped, and they've got better stuff anyway. And look at that. So because this book is a little bit beat up, this guy's happy to sell it to us, and because, of course, he gets a lot of gold out of it, he's getting 93 gold out of it, we can just straight up buy Crime and Punishment. Because we've got all this wealth. Normally, of course, this would be prohibitively expensive to do, but for us, it's like not that bad at all. Like, this book is almost completely destroyed. So if I say to Duke Luke, but look, you're about to lose that, my friend, I'll buy that from you, the wellspring of life. Chances are he's just going to accept it because it's falling apart. And this is very useful, as you can imagine. And doing this as early as possible means that we are going to get some very powerful bonuses here. We can equip, again, 4 books, 4 inventory artifacts. So, I think... Oh, let's have a look up here, then. What about, like, King Robert of Castile? Do you think he'd sell a book? What did I want from you? I want your book, my friend, wherever the hell it is. Crime and Punishment. Here we go. He won't accept, right? And you're probably thinking, okay, well, this is an obvious thing. What we do, then, we start fabricating a hook. 90% chance of success on this guy. If we get the hook, we can buy his book. We can force him to basically sell us the book, right? Now, because of our court time, this is the other thing I realized. I was like, okay, we need to get to twice schemed as soon as possible so that we can get 2 schemes. Nope. Because of our court, we've already got 2 schemes. Getting twice scheme will actually give us 3 schemes, which is kind of nuts, right? Because we've got a court grandeur level of 10, and we swapped our court over to an intrigue court. That gives us that extra plot. So what we can do is we could start fabricating a claim on... Who else had that artifact there? King Robert of Castile. We can start fabricating a claim on Manasses of Francia. Now, I'm going to spoil it here. Even with a hook, we still cannot buy the very high-tier artifacts. The hook gives plus 50 to convincing people to buy the artifact, right? Something like Joyous, even if we have the money for it, it's because he's so attached to it, right? It's minus 20, minus 30, minus 20. We get plus 10 and plus 50. With the other 50, it just doesn't work out for us, right? Because the gold, when we actually have enough money, it'll set to a certain baseline. And because it's such an illustrious artifact, we just simply, it has such a high negative associated with it. Again, not having enough gold just sets it to 0 by default. So this isn't really a good way to be able to see how much it is. But Who knows? Maybe with a bit of opinion. Opinion does matter, but not massively. We cannot fabricate a hook on the Emperor till next year. That's okay, then. Let's see if we can find some other artifacts here. There was a guy. Oh, who did I go for before? I don't remember why, but I went to Al-Andalus, and he had an artifact. Again, I've got to try and retread my steps from years ago. He had an artifact that was relevant. Oh, right. Firstly, he's got the Throne of Charlemagne, which I'd really like. But again, even though I had a hook on him, I wasn't allowed to buy it because it's obviously like a unique, high-quality artifact. He had something else that was really good, if I remember correctly. Whether it was a book or some sort of... Oh, let me see if I can find it again. No. It wasn't the ruler of Al-Andalus. It was this guy instead. Caliph Abdul Qadir II has this book here. Excellent Companion of Poisons. It's 20% monthly intrigue lifestyle experience. So I think, again, we were just allowed to buy that from him. Yeah, it was definitely this guy, because I remember he had Katana, bizarrely enough. Where is that book? So between all of these things, of course, we're going to be in a very, very good place. Yeah, there you go. 244 gold. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's very expensive. We're sinking a lot of cash into this, but I'm going to make this character work. So let's unequip everything and start from scratch here. So that's 20% martial lifestyle experience. That one's 20% martial lifestyle experience. Then we've got that book that we just bought from my guy. Where is it? Oh, is that court artifact? That's fine. Yeah, Companion of Poisons. There we are. What's this one? Stewardship Lifestyle Experience. So we do need to buy another core artifact. Then actually we can get 2 more regular books too. Now what I had equipped was the Ornate Ribbon. 20% Seduction Scheme Power is actually pretty damn good. Have you got anything else that can help out with that? Because I think that's going to be a way to build up a lot of experience. Look, we've got a lot of just kind of, honestly, kind of useful stuff to have. This one gives Attraction Opinion, Personal Scheme, Success Chance. So we'll just throw that one on for the time being. So we've got 20% experience from that one, 20% from that one, 20% from that one. We'll fabricate a hook. We'll grab another one. So what are we lacking? We could take 2 more personal artifacts. And luckily in the artifact finder, we can say like equipped rather than core artifact. So any of these would be viable. Actually, could I just buy that, do you think? He'd sell it to me. Instead of trying to fabricate a hook, let's just have a chat with him. See if he'll sell it. Wellspring of Life. Instead of going to all this extent. He'll just sell it to us. Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. And then you were the one who wouldn't sell it to me, right? Just going to triple check here, because the second I unpause, right, time starts ticking, so I want to get it set up. Yeah, he's the one that won't sell it to us. That's fine. We'll get it eventually, I'm sure. Okay, this guy we could potentially also buy the other book from. So let's do it. I've set it to valid sales. So in theory... it means that he's within... Oh, look at that, +2. He would actually take it. Cool. And then let's swap equipped over to not equipped. Well, there's none. So there are no core artifacts then that we can get. So there are no core artifacts at all now. Fair enough. Honestly, that's totally fine. Very acceptable. Right. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this because it's not as good. Let's throw that one on. As for the Seduction Scheme Power, honestly, I don't think we need the help currently. Let's get rid of, was it this one, swapping it for this one? There we are. Okay, so that's our 2 core artifacts, and then we've got, 3 books equipped. That is amazing. That's amazing. Very silly. Very silly. That's going to give us out a huge amount of bonuses. Let's have a look here. Plus 75 per month. 60 from Court Grandeur, 30 from Web Weaver, and then we're getting another 60, 90. We're getting another 110% from those artifacts we've just bought. And I'm telling you, this was, look, we've completely bankrupted the realm. Generations of building up all of those places and investing back in the realm as King Meringue and maybe not doing so much warfare. Oh, shit. Okay. In the original timeline, this kid, I called him... Oh, what did I call you? Hold on. I called you Cannoli. I don't remember how to spell it, so I'll look it up. But, more importantly, he was intelligent. And he is again. Okay, I wonder if that's predetermined then when they're born. Cannoli. Is it double N? It is double N. Right, cannoli, a delicious, apparently Sicilian dessert. I had no idea it was Sicilian. There we are. Okay, that's good then. He's still intelligent. In the original timeline, he came out, whatever was good for stewardship. Bossy, that was it. Footsteps echoing down dark hallways, misplaced papers in my study, a shadow seen from the corner of my eye. You think someone is following you, my mother Big Eater seems to mull it over before nodding. I have noticed something suspicious in the castle recently. Oh. Marietta. You may remember this lady that we had a little diddling relationship with at that wedding. She's been married to Balder von Gudensberg. A scandal in waiting. I love the fact that this guy has those dark secrets of his own. I love that he has a vice. I love that he's motivated to help his family. I love that he's an evil piece of shit. But I love that he also has that weakness in that he's a seducer. You know, he just likes to seduce. He's not necessarily lustful. He just does it because I guess it's his hobby, for lack of a better word. Who is chasing us down? This guy's paranoid, so absolutely, of course, we're going to try and track down whoever's trying to find us. Okay, look, we need to be fabricating hooks all the time. There's no reason not to be, so we are going to start work on... Who are we fabricating right now? Robert of Castile. Let's go for the HRE. Let's aim high. Oh, we can't fabricate on the HRE, not till next year. Oh, where do we want to go for, then? We need to be scheming, basically, non-stop, because if we're not, we're letting the character down, right? The King of Sicily, that gives us something. What about, like, the Pope? That might be a little bit difficult. 5%. Yeah, that's obviously incredibly hard, because with a hook on the Pope, we can do a lot of stuff. Who would I even want to go for? Again, we could just go for the artifacts, but it's a bit weak. Additionally, Intrigue Lifestyle Experience is good, but of course, when we max that out, what are we going to want? We're probably going to want, like, maybe Scheme Secrecy, Scheme Success Chance, Scheme Power. I wonder if... Oh my god, I remember this guy. I tried to fabricate a hook on him in the original timeline, but it didn't work. His prize dagger gives 11% hostile scheme success chance. That's all the fabrication hooks. Gives 10% to all scheme secrecy as well. So let's go fabricate hook. If we can pull this off, we get an illustrious weapon that we can use for... evil. Again, he might not sell it to us because it is quality 4, but this one isn't unique because the unique ones have that frame to them. Nunez Saga, what does that do for us? Personal scheme success chance up by 16%. Very good for the seduction if we want to do that. Really, we're looking for, I guess, maybe hostile scheme success chance. This just says scheme. Yeah, there's hostile scheme success chance there. I wonder if you can't get hostile scheme success chance books. There are core artifacts that do it. Personal scheme, hostile scheme success chance books, but it's core artifact. Weird. Okay. Well, fair enough. That's fine. Honestly, the prize dagger would be massive for us. And again, there's like you know, it's just basic scheme power, but they're not very good. They're all like quite low digits. Maybe scheme secrecy might be better, but honestly, I think we're fine. On the subject of that, how's the council looking? I've got to kind of remind myself where exactly we're at. Is this the genius guy in the council currently? That's it, William Croven. Yeah, I'm going to swap him over to support schemes. We probably don't need it. But right now, we don't need protecting from any horrible people, because we're doing fine. Chased by shadows, hidden in one of the more desolate hallways, one that leads to most private chambers as well as the castle gardens. I wait and watch. Was it foolish to come here? Maybe if I... Footsteps, moving quietly down the hallway, a shadowy figure emerging. I will confront him. Or, I must be sure, I will continue to follow him. 90% chance that we follow him and he does not notice. I think we've got to go for it. Because if we confront him and he's not involved in a scheme, then we fail. So let's stalk him. Let's see what happens. And I managed to follow Julio without a sound. We succeeded. He hurries down one hallway after another, and after a couple of minutes, he steps right past my chambers and out into the castle gardens. Well, it is a lovely night tonight. Ah, you lay your suspicions to rest, and this was a valuable lesson. He was just going for a nice walk. Gain 1 intrigue perk. Very nice. And we're actually just about to get another as well. So, I think I immediately started going for swift execution. None of them really matter too much. Digging for dirt and kidnapper. Kidnapper could be a good way to make some money. This guy would absolutely be fine with kidnapping. Oh, eventually when we go for golden obligations, of course, we're going to be swimming in cash anyway. So, Dynasty Legacy. I went into deigning to visit. Because, again, it's tours and tournaments after all. I want to see what the activities have to offer, but we also get the Instilling Fear modifier for 20 years. To be honest, I thought the Lordly Jew was better. Vassal tax contribution up by 25%. It's very good. Upon completing any grand tour, reset the cooldown of any of the above modifiers, so we can just keep doing it basically over and over. Instilling Fear gives mana arms maintenance per dread minus 0.5%, so that could also save us a huge amount of money. I'll be honest, I want to do, like, patronage, customs, and activities. I know that, again, Guile might suit the character better, and going all the way up through the Guile tree, but, you know, I'm happy to bend the roleplay aspect a little bit to be able to see a lot more of the DLC. So, hello, brother-in-law, will not accept. Again, that's something we can use hooks for. Potentially go into that diplomacy tree. Oh, he found me again. That's twice this guy's done this. History's repeating itself. Of course, we might still succeed. We might still succeed, so we're going to stick with it. Job done right gives 25% hostile scheme success chance, so thank you. Now for our personal schemes. I'm going to be honest, it's seduction. It is seduction all the way. This guy is bisexual, so we can go for anybody willing to take his advances. So we're going to go, let's open the character finder here. Let's go. Now, to be honest with you, we don't necessarily have to say not Karling. All I'm going to filter it by is, okay, one thing I learned is that because homosexuality in Catholicism is frowned upon, it's an instant -20 to trying to seduce men, no matter what. So if we're just looking to get the experience here, let's go women, and let's go heterosexual, and let's just go down the list. Okay, maybe we won't start with family members immediately. My sister-in-law, that is a fantastic place to start. It's a 95% chance, because we've got all these bonuses, and we've got that artifact giving another as well. And look at this man. 3 schemes already, and we've really only just started. And of course, when we get twice schemed, we can have 4 schemes on the go at once. 3 hostile and 1 personal. So this is going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. Forget about the grand tournament. We're going to be spending our money on you know, artifacts. And again, we don't just necessarily want artifacts to empower this particular character. We want to just get all the artifacts back. I'm talking the Throne of Charlemagne, of course, joyous as well, to get back all the Karling dynasty artifacts. I think the bust of Charlemagne, or maybe even the head of Charlemagne, is out there somewhere too. I'll have to try and track that down at some stage. And now we patiently wait for hopefully everything to start going our way. Does the Pope like us? He does. Oh shit, when can we ask for gold? We need 250 piety. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we are ever going to get enough piety. Because this guy is so incredibly evil. And of course, you know, having bastards, things like that, being accused of infidelity and adultery and blah, blah, blah. Our prestige is going to tank. And that's what I found last time. A troubadour will simply be performing in court at Cagliari. It would be a simple request to have him change the performance dedication to Loba, the target of my affection. It will be a bold declaration to the lady. That's a 49% chance. I prefer veiled illusions to my desire for her. 58% chance. Or I should not dabble. No, let's go for it. It's already a 95% success chance. And the worst that can happen is it goes unnoticed. So, nothing, right? We're pretty much guaranteed. What can we do there? Sorry, that was an invite. There was an invite to go to Archon Damianu's hunt. This happened last time as well, because I went on this guy's hunt and I said, my god, he's enormous, because it turns out he's a giant. We don't really need... We do need the mountaineers. Ah, wow, this is so bizarre. Everything's happening exactly as it happened before. I mean, these things are, of course, on a timed cooldown, so... Oh, it freezes all your schemes. Oh, I didn't even notice that last time. Maybe we'll cancel then. No, sod it. No, we'll go home. Oh, because we're paranoid. He's actually relieved to be back home. Oh, in that case, good. I'm glad I did that. Forget it. We lost a little bit of gold there, like hiring a mountaineer or whatever. Greetings, King Panoshokalar of Baleo Tyrrhenia. Thank you for the gift of music. The troubadour's performance was greatly appreciated. Oh, a budding interest. Very good. Now, I've added a couple more mods, as you might notice as well. I thought, look, if I'm bloody starting again, we might as well take it as an opportunity to throw in some more things. The character finder, really good for getting new people to court, for tracking people down, just for, you know, doing a little scheming here and there. I've added some, like, clear portrait borders, too. Makes things a lot more obvious. And then I've added a mod that highlights your name in the color of the rank that you are. I thought that was kind of fun. A little bit more visibility, not really very relevant, and not, you know, like a massive change or anything like that, but I thought it was kind of nice. The forest of my dreams. Though my efforts to become a truly feared and respected figure, a vast number of guilty and disloyal persons have ended up in my dungeon. Ah, sorry, through, not though. Many lowly cutthroats and pickpockets from the countryside and the cities await their fates. In my macabre machinations, I envision a forest of impaled lowlifes and traitors surrounding Cagliari on all sides. A grim reminder to everybody what happens when the king is betrayed. This did not happen last time. This is an act of tyranny. Wow, I have to do it, because not only, of course, has this come to him in a dream, this is what he wants, he's callous, so he actually loses stress because of it. We gain 35 dread immediately. We've not played any dreadful characters. They've all been genuinely nice people, I think. or if not nice people, at least respectable. Like Biscotti wasn't necessarily nice, given they did a load of conquests, but he was respectable. This, though, this is going down a dark path, and it might impact our schemes. At last, my vision has been brought to life by the corpses of countless criminals. Oh, this has got dark fast. I stroll with leisure to the ambient sound of squawking birds and the gentle drip of stale blood onto sodden ground. I pass by row upon row of nameless lowlifes and bandits, assured that any would-be highwaymen or bandits approaching Cagliari can clearly see what happens to those who attempt to sow crime and disorder in the kingdom of Balio-Tyrrhenia. Oh, no. Upon concluding my tour, I take in one last breath of the deathly miasma before returning home content with my work. We gain Forest of Corpses that gives higher taxes, higher control, lower popular opinion. The bandits have all been impaled, but the people aren't happy to see bandits wherever they go. Impaled bandits, that is. Oh, the Impaler already. Well, after the amount of seduction schemes I've got planned, he will be known as the Impaler one way or the other. He's a deeply, deeply troubled man and he needs serious help. Hello, train for a tournament. Okay. I did this last time and we got strong. It's a 20% chance. Show me it again. It's 21% chance this time. Come on. Shit. Now, what I thought last time is that strong gave an attraction bonus, and I was like, yes, that'll help out with the seduction. It doesn't. It just gives prowess. So, it you know, it's not a massive deal. Ah, there you go. Wound treatment. Celebrations had come to an end when Loba suggested a reading. A clerk soon arrives, wondering what the guests would like to hear, and I have my chance to impress Loba. Something pious, like the Summa Theologica, or Let's Be Entertained, travels to Byzantium. What is she into? She does like learning. And she is compassionate and temperate. She is quite virtuous for a Catholic lady that we are trying to diddle. So let's go for something pious again. And she did like that. I read her like an open book. And let's hope that the book is not the only thing. Open fabricate secret. Ah, King Robert had something to hide. So luckily, we don't even have to fabricate a scheme. We just already know. We've just instead discovered a scheme about him. He's a murderer. Oh, God. Okay, let's get a hook on him. Why is murder a weak hook? I think that would be quite a strong hook, but never mind. What's this war about? Liberty War. We've been calling as an ally. I don't care then. Right, okay, so let's have a chat then with my good friend King Robert and see if we can actually buy an artifact. I want to buy his dagger, right? Minus 70, plus 20. Oh, we actually might be able to do this. That's plus 110. We've got plus 112, so it depends how much the gold, when we get enough gold to buy it. How much is it? 1,117 because it's illustrious. Bloody hell. Do I even want his iron dagger? I mean, I kind of do, but that other dagger that we're trying to fabricate on the other guy isn't unique, so we might be more willing to part with it. What was the other thing I was looking at from this guy? It was, like the Nunez Chronicle, I think? Or something like that. Where was it? I can't remember what I wanted from you now. Did I just do this for a laugh? No, he had something that I was interested. Let me go through all his artifacts. No, it must have been that, Crime and Punishment. Right, good. I think we'll buy it. It's another 25% monthly intrigue lifestyle experience. So I'm going to take it. Again, I'm not sure he will... And the best part is we can fabricate another hook if we want to. We just have to wait a couple of years, so it's not a big deal. I don't think that he will part with that dagger anyway. Even if he does, it will take us more than 2 years to save up for the dagger, right? So I think this was the right play. Was that a... that was a court book, right? Yes, there you go. So we'll swap those ones out, and then we might as well, to be honest, we might as well sell this one, the Excellent Compendium of Poisons, because we've just got a direct upgrade there. So I might get rid of this one. Actually, that gives 2% hostile scheme success chance. So... I'm not sure. We could sell that to make a bit of money. We don't need to sell it, of course. We can just sit on that and keep it as money in the bank for later on, right? What we really need is another inventory artifact, but that's fine. Right, who are we going to fabricate a clone on next? France, preferably, if we can. It was still too soon. How long have we got to wait on that one? December this year. Okay, and then you were even later than that. Okay, what about, like, let's just have a look around and see what artifacts some of our nearby neighbors have. A sweet roll. Ooh, let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll. Maybe they might. What have you got? Have you got anything valuable? He has a lot of really, really illustrious stuff. I imagine we could just get him to part ways with something. Got the Cloak of Muhammad. That's really cool. Katana. Obviously, he's like crazy. That'd be amazing. He's got some sort of fancy goblet. But the problem is, like, he's got all of this stuff equipped, obviously. Damn. Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to get any of this from him. I'm not sure where I should be going to fabricate hooks at this point. Again, we could start fabricating hooks on, say, like, I don't know, Byzantium. Fabricate a hook, marry his son matrilineally off to my sister or daughter. We kill the son, etc., etc. We could definitely set this up. So why don't we try it then? Let's fabricate a hook. Let's put a Karling on the throne of Byzantium. It's about the only throne a Karling hasn't sat on. So you know what? I think that'd be nice. That'd be a nice change of pace. Of course, we'd immediately be deposed as house head. But hey, we didn't. Holy shit, we weren't able to fabricate it again. That's twice. I'm gonna put him on the list and we'll come back to him. Damn. Okay. Sicily. Have you got anything interesting? Again, I'm not gonna specifically just go for. I'm not just gonna. Oh my god, that sweet roll recipe is even better. That's minus 15% stress loss and stress gain. Good god, man. I'm not really sure where to go for. Oh, why didn't we also go for Hungary as well? His primary heir is married. We wouldn't be able to force a matrilineal marriage with his primary heir, though, right? So I'm not sure where we'd go. We could always put somebody, like, under France. Like, take, I don't know, the King of Burgundy, for example. Let's get a hook on just various rulers. You know, until I can go back to one of my specific targets, France or the Holy Roman Empire, or that other guy that we failed with. I'll start making a short list of people to scheme on. And then as soon as they become available, you know, we'll just have all these other kings in our back pocket. You know, blackmail all of Europe. Fine, that's totally acceptable. And here we are. Your ankles are like wet mud. Jesus Christ, that's not a strong opening, is it? My heart yearns to watch you sleep, that I may know how you smell, how I long for you. No sooner have I read the letter delivered from Loba than I'm on my way to her chambers. Oh my god, she wanted me. She wanted to smell my ankles. My actions will answer her words. Yes. Lay with her. We can either just go and diddle. Or we can make her a lover. I think having lots of lovers will stress him out. But honestly, why not? You seduced Loba by sending well-penned letters. And they weren't the only thing well-penned. Hello. Like all Catholics, King Dobromil of Hungary shares more with God and by extension, this man than he shares with his priest than most mortals. I could have a chat with the priest. He might help me out. Yeah, I mean, it's 62% chance. It's probably going to backfire. And this time, it will actually lower it by 5% if we fail. I think it's worth the gamble. He refuses. All right. Very good. Pious hindrance. Fair enough. You know what? Good for him. Good for him to sticking to his guns. Digging for dirt. Sure. It doesn't really matter because we're not going to be doing much with that. But kidnapper could come in handy. Can we just, like, seize artifacts from people? I mean, if we need money, of course, we could just, like, go and kidnap outside of realms that we really don't care about. Hello. My agents made contact with Edith, a servant in my acquaintance King Dobromil's castle. No, that's okay. We'll go with disloyal servants. That's minus 5% secrecy, plus 5% to scheme success chance. Yeah, I don't really want to spend the money on that when the... We're just doing this to kind of keep it going. Anyway, sorry, yes. Oh, God, and then Basilius Leontius, 82% chance we can study his personality and gained 10% to his secrecy. And absolutely we did. Very nice to see. Right, what I want to do then is start a new seduction plot. What about his wife? Can you just, like, seduce your wife? 95% chance of seducing your wife. What about making her a lover? I think because he's so hated. Yeah, look at that. This is what I'm talking about. 0% chance for romance because everybody hates him. 95% chance because they hate him, but they hate to love him. You know? So let's go with it. Fine. Started a seduce scheme against Queen Aldonza. This was not where I planned to take this character. But again, this is the choices he made in life before we started playing as him. And I feel like murder and, you know, sexuality are a big part of his character. So we're going to go for that then. I'm going to make sure this ornate ribbon is well repaired because it's helping out a lot. Okay, so... Ooh. Feudal taxes increase. Very nice. We can do a couple of other things with money other than just Flitzing it all away on artifacts. We could try and upgrade the Duchy Palace. Now, what we need for that is cranes, right? Did I talk about this before? I don't remember. Cranes, I might, again, apologies if I'm covering what I talked about last episode. I can't remember if it was last episode or the lost episode. Cranes, we need to be in the late medieval era. We need 2 more innovations before we do that. Land grants we are just about to get, like 17 months. And then hoardings is also our fascination. That's going to take 8 years. But the second we finish land grants... In fact, why don't we go for land grants first? 11 months. 51 years. Actually, no, let's swap back over. That's obviously much faster. Actually, advanced bow making we're going to finish in a few months too. What I'm getting at is we'll be able to start making progress towards late medieval quite soon. It's probably not going to be in this character's lifetime, but worth keeping in mind. The other thing we can do as well is in Messina, of course, we could build the university. We need Exalted Amongst Men, which, to be honest, we'll probably just get passively through taking decisions and having feasts and, you know, whatever else we decide to do with this guy. I think we're probably just going to get there. My wife, Queen Aldonza, is with child. However, she's been acting strange, and I cannot shake the feeling that something is wrong. Well, of course, this guy being the paranoid lord that he is, she must tell him. Of course the child is yours, Aldonza said. Oh, I think the other option was investigate. We should have gone with that one. I don't believe her. Intrigue challenge against the queen. Yes, that's what we want to do. This is the option I want to pick. We want to try and find out. Of course, we should be sneaking around. In pursuit of my Queen Aldonza's affection, it'd be very helpful to... Oh, sorry, this is an unrelated event. This is the seduction event. What are her tastes and preferences? It's good that you're finding this out, you know, 15 years into your marriage. Shall we send spies, or shall we use diplomacy? Obviously. I mean, is that even a question? It seems that my fears have been unfounded. Despite every effort on the part of my spies, I found no indication that she's been unfaithful. When your character is paranoid, of course, they're always going to think they're being unfaithful, even when they almost certainly are never. So, whoops, never mind. Only had to be certain Queen Aldonza loses 25 opinion of you. I trusted you. I trusted you, dear. And now... we're going to try and seduce her. He's a very fickle man. From 1 minute, he's very suspicious of them and totally paranoid about their motivations. And then he loves them. Well, he doesn't love them. He just does it, again, as a hobby. I'm wandering around a nearby village after conducting some business there when I come across a young village girl picking some juniper berries. It must be Milod. It seems like this cheerful girl is quite knowledgeable about the various berries and their cooking, in particular juniper berries. With a cheerful smile, the girl offers me some of the juniper berries. These are very delicious with meat, she explains. Thank you, that's very kind of you. He is paranoid. He would never take berries from someone he doesn't know. And probably somebody he does know. No, I don't need these silly berries. Or, my cooks could need an assistant like you. Absolutely not. We're just going to turn her down. I'm sorry. Even though it would have been quite nice. Ooh. The fabricate hook has been exposed, but our involvement is not yet known. It will just make it more difficult. It's still 78% chance of success, so I think we'll probably stick with it. And now, shit. The simplest solution is often the best. Why worry with all this intrigue and manipulation when I can simply coerce him into doing my bidding? A few strongmen and an ominously worded letter should do it. We are going to commit another act of tyranny, I believe. Let's have a look. What do the vassals think of us right now? They are not happy. We're at -10 tyranny currently. We can afford to take a bit more of a hit. Scribe, we have letters to compose. Because, of course, when you've got a high enough dread, you don't have to worry about, things like opinion. And not being a tyrant, of course. Boom. Fabricate hook and threatened. Perfect. What am I going to do with that? I'll be honest, I don't know. What are we going to do with that? Again, maybe he has something we want to buy. I don't think so, but we could always have a look. Now, is Francia ready to go then? Because oh, there we go. Yes, it was December last year, wasn't it? Oh, God. A town in Messina is the recent scene of some unfortunate happenings. There's been heated debate about a local issue in one large town that's too relevant for my attention, but it was conscientious enough that 2 people present at a recent meeting of various notables came to blows over it. Tensions are reaching a boiling point in the town. It may be necessary for me to intervene as king. The issue is irrelevant to begin with, so it's not worth my time. Feuding in a town lowers development growth and control, or sending some troops to maintain order. Here's the thing. I think for his personality, he wouldn't care. Why, you know, he's a callous man. He would just, like, dismiss it. It's not even worth his time, as it says. Simultaneously, him sending him the troops and asserting direct control also kind of suits him. Honestly, I think we're just going to hand-wave it away. Not interested. This guy is a terrible ruler, but he is a fantastic manipulator, and I think that's how we'll stick to playing him. Speaking of which, we're going to try and fabricate a hook on Emperor Manassas. It's only an 84% chance of succeeding this time around, because of course he's very powerful. We'll see how it goes. What's the other hook we're getting? It's Basilius Leontius, right? 90% success chance on that one. Is Emperor Manassas particularly intrigue? No. He might have a very good spy master. Can we see his council? Is that something we're allowed to see? Is there like a quick way to find that? I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, doesn't really matter too much. Clearly, he's getting some sort of significant defense against this. I'm not entirely sure where from. I never thought that a man could have too much love. Yet, it seems life has proven me wrong. Some days, I feel as if my spare time is nothing but coming up with the most charming compliments for Loba and picking out the perfect gifts for Marietta. We have to let one of them go. We have to let one of them go. Again, I don't think he's a man for love. I think he's a man of just conquest. Not in, you know, the warfare sense. I think we're going to give away... Which one does he like the least? Loba. Let her go. Goodbye, Loba. Sorry. I'm sorry. It was a love and leave situation. Okay, this might be worth considering. We can either gain Tarnished Reputation for 155 gold on this hook against the Emperor, or a Sympathetic Ear. Now, what is it we're lacking? It's success chance, right? Secrecy we don't really care about so much. Honestly, I think we can get away with... So that one still lower secrecy, but gives an extra 5% to success chance. Honestly, I think we're just going to go with Disloyal Servants. And I think we'll be fine with it. How are our successes doing? Sorry, I'm missing out on, like, a lot of stuff here. I need to be keeping an eye on other aspects of the realm. I'm so caught up in all this scheming that everything else is kind of falling by the wayside. But, to be fair, does it not make sense? Already has a potential successor. No, it does not. This character does not serve as a knight. Okay, so why don't we make him a knight, then? Gwillem Gelsera. Okay, where are you, then, my friend? I'll allow you to be a knight. There he is. Why is he not allowed? But join your armies. Can I just force him to be a knight? Will that work? And then we set him as a successor. There we go. Okay. I mean, it's fine. It fills a gap. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it'll do. Our son, Baguette Karling. Is he genius? I think this man would not be above. I mean, firstly, he's a murderer. Oh, but he loves his family, though, doesn't he? Does he love his family, or does he love the dynasty and the name and the power that comes with it? I guess it's his family, right? Because it's only his mother and his sister that he's actually friends with. What I'm thinking is, if we get a genius son, would this man be above infanticide to make sure that they have a position on the throne? Are we going to keep him as Biscotti? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We've unlocked a new intrigue part, though. That's great. And servants have been sent away. Our bed has been decorated with roses as Queen Aldonza enters our chamber. She smiles pleasantly and joins me without hesitation. We are just going to have the, you know, we're just going to love her and leave her. We could take her as a lover, actually. It might not hurt. I think we'll take her as a lover. It's not going to be soulmates, because, again, she doesn't really like him that much. Actually, to be fair, we might be able to romance her now. 15% chance. So we've barely improved things. She's like, yeah, I like you, but not that much. Just keep them at arm's length type of situation, you know? They're not soulmates, but they are physically compatible. Kidnapper. Oh, who to kidnap? Oh, we could kidnap the Pope. I feel like you shouldn't ever kidnap the Pope. Simultaneously, that would be a lot of money on the table. Anyway, let's get out there and start doing a bit more seduction. What about wrinkles? What about wrinkles? Why not wrinkles? Oh, why not? 95% success chance. Hey, you know what? Really just go out there. Really just go out there and see the whole world, you know? Let's leave it there for today. Thank you for bearing with me. Apologies about this episode being late. Apologies about the rambling. Apologies about everything. It's just one of those unfortunate situations where occasionally we're going to lose a little progress here and there because it's such a long slog of a game, isn't it? These episodes are quite long too, so slightly sad side effect, but we've built up a really nice foundation for this guy here, and we didn't really spend that much time. It's a nice way to start building him up. Once we start getting down to schema, twice scheme, that's when we can really start putting our machinations into play. What did we do with the hooks then? We are sitting on hooks currently for King Robert, And, sorry, we've got a secret, but we're sitting on a hook for, who was it? Was it the King of Poland? King of Hungary, right? That's correct. So we could try and put a Karling on the throne of Hungary. You know, if you've got a better suggestion, by all means. With the hooks on Francia and the HRE, or sorry, Francia and Byzantium, of course, we'll try and put Karlings on those thrones, and same with the HRE. If we could get the 3 major empires in Europe right now, or the 3 only empires in Europe, I suppose, then, I mean, we're going to be unstoppable, aren't we? The Karling dynasty goes right the way back to the top of the ladder. Let's see how it goes. Thank you for joining me. Come back tomorrow. Give me some ideas. Give me some inspiration.